All right, here we are back with more of Snatcher. Man, I don't even. We're on Act 3 now, I believe. This game is nuts.
With the start of this year's Kyoto Summit just 3 hours away, the delegates from the participating countries are beginning to arrive at the conference center. A major poll of domestic and international opinion, carried out just last week, shows that the vast majority of respondents favor a complete quarantine of Neo Kobe.
Now that the Chief's death has been confirmed, it won't be long before they strip us of our Junker authorization.
They will be deciding how to handle Neo Kobe at the summit in just 3 hours.
There are rumors that they're going to use nukes on the city to make sure the Snatchers are wiped out.
That's ridiculous. Come on, this is the 21st century.
That may not be as improbable as it seems. The world's leaders are extremely concerned about the Snatcher problem.
The Chief was going to calm this hysteria in his speech at the summit, but that'll never happen now.
3 months ago, government pressure on Junker operations increased dramatically. Gillian's transfer here was really our last chance.
Our own chief was snatched. It's not too surprising they don't want to trust us anymore.
I've heard that the Army and FBI are going to take over operations now.
That's correct. That too will be officially decided in 3 hours' time.
3 hours, eh? Is there any way we can find their hideout in that time?
If we don't, we and everybody else in this city are finished.
As far as they're concerned, we're just like a cancerous tumor that has to be cut out.
We have to hit the Snatchers' headquarters before then.
Gillian, can you do it?
If we only knew where it was, I should be able to manage something.
Hitting their outposts like Queen's Hospital won't do any good. We have to find their main nerve center.
What about the memory of that Snatcher who was impersonating the chief?
Just like the others, it was completely blanked. It's a form of self-destruct mechanism that they use.
Wait a minute. Metal, what about tracing that video phone call from Jamie?
It was no good. The call didn't last long enough. Still, it definitely did come from within the city.
Damn. Where are they hiding?
Gillian, can't you remember anything at all? Didn't Jamie say something that implied you were somehow connected to the Snatchers?
Nothing. I can't remember a damn thing. Metal, I want you to tell me everything you know about me. Why was I sent to Junker headquarters? Where did I come from?
Gillian.
Metal, the chief's dead. Tell me everything you know about me.
Well, you see...
Metal!
All right. With the chief gone, you are the highest-ranking officer here.
You knew all along?
Of course.
Where were we rescued from?
3 years ago, you and Jamie were taken into protective custody in the Siberian Neutral Zone by the 17th Siberian Investigative Force. More precisely, you were discovered in cryogenic sleep pods in an underground bunker near Moscow.
Cryogenic sleep pods? You mean they were frozen?
This is a photograph of the bunker. There is no record of when you were placed there. In addition, the third pod was empty at the time you were discovered.
There were 3 pods?
You were revived and taken into custody by the Army. Apparently, as a result of the extended sleep, both of you suffered from complete amnesia. However, another theory suggests your memories may have been intentionally erased. This is the only piece of evidence found at the site.
That's Harry's picture
Oh
from when he was a
my
kid.
god, Harry is our kid?
That's correct. Harry is Gillian and Jamie's son. It's been confirmed by DNA tests.
Harry? Harry was my son?
Using the information gained from the photo, it was established that you are Gillian Seed and your wife, Jamie Lorraine. Both of you are American citizens, born in the late 1960s.
The 1960s?
In addition, both of you vanished without a trace in 1989. There is no other information available about you after that.
1989?
Yes, you come from a world that's been gone for 50 years.
But what does that have to do with the Snatchers?
When the 17th Special Investigative Force was bringing the two of you out, there was an accident. Though the two of you were all right, most of the 17th was killed. One of them was a Snatcher. Of course, before their departure, they all underwent thorough examinations. So, if one of them was snatched...
It had to be somewhere in Siberia, right?
That's correct. And in order to attempt to determine the origin of the Snatcher, as well as your true identities, you were assigned to Junker headquarters. The hope was that exposure to the Snatchers would help you regain your memories.
Moscow? 50 years ago?
Almost everyone who was in Moscow at the time was killed in the catastrophe.
So Gillian and Jamie are the only living witnesses?
Harry. Harry was my son. Did he know?
No. It was highly classified information. He was never told.
I was never able to do anything for him.
Wait a minute, Gillian. Didn't Jamie say something about taking a boy hostage?
That's right. They must know about Harry and are using him to threaten her.
We have to find their headquarters quickly.
We've only got 3 hours.
Gillian, let's think this all through again. We may get some kind of a hint out of it.
You're right. There may be some clue in the way they're operating.
All right. Let's go over what we know about them.
First of all, what's the Snatcher's weak point? UV rays. This is the Snatcher's weak point? That's correct. Their weak point is their defective artificial skin. Long-term exposure to ultraviolet rays causes mutations in the melanocytes in the stratum basal of their skin, which become cancerous. Specifically, long ultraviolet rays in the 250 to 350 nanometer range is responsible for causing the cancer. Cancer! That's right. And that's the reason that they are so limited as to when they can be out. They only come out at night in the middle of the winter and wear sunscreen even then. What's that method that John used to figure out what the Snatchers are up to? How ironic. Turns out the destruction of the ozone layer actually had a benefit for us humans. That's right. Now, what method were they using to move and be able to avoid ultraviolet rays and sunlight at the same time? The underpass. This is a method of movement that the Snatchers were using? That's right, they were using the abandoned tunnels of the old tube liner system to get from place to place. That's how they were able to move around without being noticed. Nielsen's apartment, the old factory, Queen's Hospital, all of their hideouts were connected by the tube liner. So maybe there is a tunnel under their main base as well. There's a good chance of that. Next, what phenomenon was observed at any location where Snatchers appeared, including the underground tunnels? Sneeze? This is the phenomenon you're talking about? That's right. And what was the cause of that sneezing? Snow 9. This is the reason for the sneezing. You're correct. The sneezing was caused by the presence of the allergen Snow 9. Snow 9 is an artificial form of pollen developed by the military, and in its presence is limited to certain regions. They were using it to interfere with radio transmissions and keep people away. They probably were producing it intentionally themselves. The only regions of the city where Snow 9 is still present are areas around the Ina River, but it has been cleared out of other areas because of the danger it presents. So that means their base must be near the Ina River, right? That is a fair conclusion. They are probably somewhere near the river protected by Snow 9. Accessible to the tube liner and near the Ina River. And we must not forget the 3 photographs that we found the Snatchers with. All of them are related to the Soviet Union before the catastrophe. A map on the wall of Nielsen's apartment, the picture of the temple in the director's office at Queen's Hospital, the photo of Red Square hidden in the chief's office. Why do Snatchers keep pictures and memorabilia like this? Maybe they're homesick? Maybe that's where they came from. Homesick? It's serious, Mika. They're robots, you know? Let's analyze a little closer. What city is related to all of these pictures? Moscow. This is the city they have in common. That's correct. It's Moscow. Moscow must be where they come from. That must be the basis of their programming. You might be right. Just as people have a hometown that is dear to them, their creators may have put a hometown into their programming. They use very advanced artificial technology systems, so they may have needed intelligence or something like that to maintain their emotional balance. Yeah, they were born out of nothing, but they needed to give them some kind of image as an emotional base. So Moscow is their creator and their home, and the place that they found Jamie and I.
In other words, this homing instinct thing of theirs has led them to set up their headquarters in some place that reminds them of home, or their creator.
What part of this city is like Moscow?
Moscow's really cold, right? They get a lot of snow, don't they?
Snow?
No snow has been recorded in Neo-Kobe in several years.
Well, then that's not it.
Wait, what about that pollen? That crystal bioengineered stuff, Snow 9?
Now that you mention it, wasn't it snowing on Jamie's video phone call?
That's right. Their hideout has to be somewhere close to the Ina River.
The Ina River flows for miles around here, Gillian. We could never search it all in time.
Gillian, let's look at a map of the areas investigated so far. This is an enlarged view of the southwest portion of the city around the Ina River. This blue area is that in which Snow 9 is present. Now I'll superimpose a chart of the abandoned tube liner tunnels. From this, we can establish those areas with Snow 9, which are accessible by subway tunnel.
Damn. Nice try, but it's still too large. We could never cover it in 3 hours.
Don't give up so fast, Gillian. What about that image of home thing we were talking about? Maybe there's some kind of geographic similarity. Maybe the same view can be seen or something.
I'll display a map of Moscow alongside.
What's this?
Look, the rivers are exactly the same shape.
This is the Moscow River over here.
It looks like we're on the right track, Metal. Show us the location that Jamie and I were picked up from.
All right, right here.
Metal, before the catastrophe, what was at this location?
The headquarters for the entire Soviet Union, the Kremlin.
The Kremlin? That Snatcher said something about taking Jamie to their Kremlin.
Metal, what spot in Neo-Kobe would match up with the location of Moscow's Kremlin?
Calculating. This is the spot. It's presently occupied by an old church. It's rather large, but reports indicate it's been abandoned for nearly 20 years.
And it's right in the middle of the Snow 9 and subway area.
That's it! That's their headquarters, their new Kremlin.
Gillian, let's go!
Wait, Gillian. I want to go with you.
Sorry, Mika.
Hey, I'm a junker too, you know.
I know, and you're a great one at that.
So take me with you then.
You head to the summit to warn the delegates. They haven't given up, you know.
The summit's in Kyoto. I'm not going to be the only one to run.
You've got to convince them not to use nukes on Neo-Kobe.
We found their hideout. There's no need now to sink the whole island.
Yes, but...
It's a tough job. Can you do it?
Okay, Gillian. I'll do what I can.
Thanks. Thank you, Mika.
Don't say it, okay?
Let's go, Gillian!
Gillian?
Yes? What's wrong?
How about dinner sometime?
Dinner?
Yeah, you know, dinner.
Mika.
Not interested. I thought it would be nice, you know, to kick back, relax. It's Christmas after all.
Christmas, huh? I'll be back by then.
Gillian, we have to hurry.
That's a promise, right? I heard you.
Yeah, okay. But I gotta go to church first.
I'll see you soon then.
Okay, Metal, let's go.
Wow. I'm actually married. Thank you very much. The last turbo cycle. Let's go. Boarded the turbo cycle. Of course, I know the answer to that question.
I've input the map data on the Kremlin's locations. Lift off.
Here we go. Act 3. I wonder where this game can go from here. We're learning so much stuff.
Flight configuration, now gaining altitude.
Jamie, please be safe.
Gillian, please keep in mind that we're working with a strict time limit.
50-year debt in 3 hours. Snow!
Snow 9, to be specific. We've entered the Snow 9 region. Please put on your breathing filter. Direct inhalation is dangerous.
All right.
Radio transmissions will also be impossible from this point on. Understood? Now descending. Conversion to hover configuration complete. Gillian, we've arrived.
Alright, exit the turbo cycle. We've arrived at the church. Wow, now I know why they call it their Kremlin. It's a very old church. It bears quite a resemblance to St. Basil's Cathedral. No doubt they thought the same thing. The building is about 50 years old, but appears to be very well maintained. So where's the entrance? On the front side of the building. A sensor scan reveals the tube liner tunnel passes directly underneath this area. Well, that's no surprise. Looks like we've got the right place.
All right, now opening the door.
What's wrong? Won't open?
I've scanned it, and it's not locked. It is probably rusted into place.
Not surprising. After all, our friends always go in and out through the basement.
Let's push it together.
All right. 1, 2, 3!
Unity.
That got it.
What's this? Would appear to be some kind of chapel for the Snatchers. Are you telling me those things pray? To whom? No doubt to their creator. That portrait on the wall is probably a representation of him. What the heck? This person is no doubt the Snatchers worship as their creator. This guy. Isn't that random? What? One moment, I'll compare the picture with my data on random. While the facial bone structure of the individual in the portrait is nearly identical to that of random, a positive identification is impossible, as the picture is not a photograph. That looks just too much like him to be a coincidence. This is slightly cursed. Something is written on the painting. The creator, Modnar. So this is Professor Modnar, huh? The one that Snatcher was talking about, eh? It appears to be a portrait of that person. It's all very organized, almost inhumanely so. There's another room farther back. Let's go. Into the back room we go. Oh my god, there's a whole bunch of Snatchers. Snatchers? Look at them all. I'm not picking up any energy readings. They are all deactivated in some kind of suspension mode. So this is their warehouse, eh? There must be a few hundred of them here. They continue all the way back. Still, this doesn't look like a factory to me. Let's look around, I guess. There seems to be a number of containers stacked up in the back of the room. These are endostructures which have yet to have the artificial skin installed. The bone sizing devices and skull slits are all still set to the smallest sizes, so their victims haven't been chosen yet. They're all just waiting their turn. None of these Snatchers appear damaged. All they need is their energy packs. The gender units have yet to be installed, though. I do not see any tools or equipment for maintaining anything in the area. This room would appear to be a storage place. There's some kind of label here. 23rd Siberian Investigative Force. Huh? Siberian Investigative Force? It would appear that these Snatchers were brought to Neo Kobe from the Siberian Neutral Zone. It seems that the investigative forces have been responsible for shipping the Snatchers. In other words, the investigative forces have been snatched, just like when they found us. I see. So the Siberian investigative forces bring the Snatchers out of Siberia and into storage here. I think you're right, Metal. And then the Snatchers just wait here in storage to be reactivated and adjusted to their victims after they've been selected. A rather efficient system. I wonder where this actual snatching takes place. The back part of this room may hold the answer to that question. Let's go. Yo, what the heck? This must be the Snatcher's culturing room. The mechanism is operating. Gillian, there are Snatchers with their artificial skin already installed here. These cylinders are used to culture the Snatcher's artificial skin, and no structures are submerged within them. The whole area is protected as a clean room. There's a door at the far end of the room. It's locked, but I should be able to open it from this side. It appears that the weak ultraviolet rays are being projected from above. This is really advanced, way beyond anything we saw at Queen's Hospital.
This is where they fuse the artificial skin onto the Snatcher's endostructure. First, they adjust the size of the still skinless Snatcher to the size of the individual who is to be snatched. The Snatcher's overall shape and size can be adjusted by expansion or contraction of sizing rods. Their sex is controlled by gender units, which are installed at this point. Then, the face is modified to match the intended victim by adjusting the size of the upper and lower jaw, cheekbones, temporal bones, and tooth alignment.
Just like Gibson said, that means there are limits to the size of the people that they can snatch.
That's right. The limits of the mechanism mean that they can't snatch children, the elderly, or people who are very tall or heavy. And this is where the artificial muscle's attached.
Is it organic?
No. It appears to be coated with a type of plastic gel capable of mechanical response. Like human muscles, it creates mechanical energy through chemical reactions. And this is where the artificial skin is attached. In order to prevent the synthetic cells, developed using biotechnological protein design techniques, from rejecting the inorganic material below, they attach it gradually over a number of days.
And this is the stuff that gets cancer if they stay out in the sun too long.
Finally, they attach body and scalp hair. The process involves transplant of synthetic hair follicles as well, so the hair will grow back if it's lost.
What about scars or birthmarks?
It would appear that they make those adjustments at this point in the process, as they would for wrinkles to simulate age.
Wow. Oh. These units are nearly ready to perform a complete snatch. Computer terminal is installed on the preservation cylinder. Can you look at that terminal? The power is on. Look at this, Gillian. The data of people to be snatched is being neatly processed.
So this is where the whole thing begins. The endostructures arrive here from the Kremlin. Then they convert them into copies of their victims. And finally, they head out into the city using the old subway system.
With artificial skin maintenance being handled at Queen's Hospital.
But who's behind all this?
Gillian, look at this. There are some finished Snatchers over here.
Get a load of this. The U.S. President, the Prime Ministers of Japan, and the U.K.
Gillian, you're in here too.
Why is that me?
They were looking to snatch every VIP at the summit.
And the last junker, you. It definitely looks like they plan on moving out beyond Neo-Kobe.
If they were to snatch every major world leader, they'd practically be able to control the planet. Still, that's odd. With their flawed skin, pulling something off like that would really be difficult.
Chin said they had found the key to developing a perfect artificial skin. Maybe they've already produced it.
No idea. But the number of snatchers here makes it clear that they're up to something new.
Gillian, this is definitely their nest. We should destroy everything.
Not yet. Not until we found Jamie. Metal, how much time do we have left?
The summit should have begun by now. We don't have much time, and once our legal privileges are suspended, I won't be able to help. In fact, I'll be forced to restrain you.
I know. If the military wants to avoid nukes and goes for a surgical strike on this facility, what would they likely use?
Probably a phased particle beam from one of the attack satellites.
A phased particle beam, huh? That'll wipe this complex right off the map.
Everything, including the soil, will simply evaporate. The attack will leave just a large crater.
Metal, can you convince them to give me another hour? Even 30 minutes will help.
Understood. I'll try my best.
And I'll try to find and rescue Jamie in that time.
I can't transmit here due to interference from the Snow 9. I'll have to leave the area and then send the message.
All right, do it, Metal.
Gillian, don't forget. 30 minutes. You must get out before then.
I understand.
Gillian, I'm sorry I couldn't help you better.
Don't worry about it. I'll be able to move faster by myself anyway. 30 minutes should be plenty. Go, Metal!
Yes, sir. Don't forget, 30 minutes.
No more Metal. I'm gonna miss the little guy.
30 minutes? Oh, this is gonna be tight. That room's the only place left to check. Let's take a look.
Yes, I agree. Let us take a look. But first, let me just save here. You saw nothing. Oh my god, jeez. This is like the hardest fight in the whole game. There we go. That's how it goes. If they didn't jump, this would be like if they didn't put 4 of them on the same screen, it would be so much easier, you know? But 4 of them, because why not? This game hates me. Please. I get so flooded when there's like more than 2 of them. Like right now. Oh my god. I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
Whew. I wasn't ready for that. They almost got me.
You're damn right I wasn't
All right,
ready.
Let's open the next door. Doesn't look like there's anything here. Whoa!
God, what is it? More of them? Oh, there's a Snatcher. A bunch of Snatchers. Side of headshots. You may call this cheating, but this is the only way. It's the only way I know how. I gotta do it. This is actually so much easier. That was so easy.
Jeez. These guys are tough. Of course, I didn't exactly expect them to welcome me with open arms. Okay, let's try this next door.